Welcome to Blazing Hot Licks with Sean Daniel, where the only thing hotter than the licks is my temper after CBS canceled Two Broke Girls. So the hot lick we're going to learn today is going to sound a little bit like this. Now, last week, some of you gave me kind of a hard time about the distinction between a riff and a lick. And part of the reason we're doing this is to break down barriers, because I'm all about inclusivity. So there will be no more distinction between riff and lick. Anything that kind of just makes you rock is what we're going for. And basically I'm going to be playing this through a Strat into my new favorite fuzz pedal, the Keeley Monterey, into the Mesa Boogie 525 Express. Alright? So again, what we've got going on here is this little doozy right here, which is it major? Is it minor? I think the cool thing about a lick is that it can be used all over the place. So we're going to talk a little bit about the androgynous nature of this. But first of all, we're going to establish that this is going to be an A chord. Right? So I'm getting like a low A here on the 5th fret of the E string. I'm getting a higher, the next octave A, on the 7th fret of the D string. So we're really kind of establishing the A-ness of this lick. The A-ness of it. We're establishing the A-ness right here with this hot lick. Oh my god, I'm serious. Alright, well, so anyways, we're establishing this note, which happens to be an A. And then we're getting the 7th fret of the G string, bending it up and stopping it, hitting the 5th fret on the B string and the E string, coming back to the G string, pointer finger to middle finger, 5th fret to 6th fret, and then finishing up kind of where we started with this octave A. Alright? So again, we've got a low A, a higher one, a bend, a stop. See how I'm kind of like using my hand to choke that off? It's not like a, which is, if that's what you're going for, that's cool, but this is more of like a, you can kind of see my wrist kind of flicking. Alright, so I'm getting this bend, stopping it, B string, E string, G string, hammer to home. Okay, now, one of the things we said earlier is like, is this a major or a minor thing? Well, the beauty of this, why it can be used in both places, is because if we take this and that middle finger right there, we can build a major triad around there. This would be an A major. Now, before we get that hammer on, if we just have this, that would be an A minor. So we can kind of perceive it as a minor chord that's getting inflected, or a major chord that isn't quite there yet and becoming a whole. So basically we can do this around a progression. Let's take a A minor to a G major to a D minor to a C major. Okay? So we can start with this A minor chord, G major, D minor, C major. Alright, so arguably you can kind of fit it into either major or minor spot, which is why we want to learn these riffs and licks, because we can move them all over the place. Alright? Now, one thing you can do is you can maybe not take it exactly like this. You can start changing it up. Instead of going right to that hammer on, you can maybe milk this part. You can kind of do it out of order. There's a million different ways you can do this. So I think the point in learning a few different kind of phrases, patterns, licks, riffs, whatever you want to call it, as long as they're hot, piping, blazing hot, is to be able to manipulate them in different ways, just to kind of find maybe a group of notes that you know really well, and then be able to jump around in between them. So that is the point with some of these blazing riffs and licks, and hopefully you can kind of take them, get creative with them, and make them your own. And if you have any questions or comments, hit me up on Instagram, Twitter, the website, or the comments section below. Until next time.